Summer is winding down, so we know you're looking for things to do with the kids. You still have time to see the new exhibit at the LBJ Presidential Library. Before Peter Benchley wrote the iconic movie Jaws, he was President Johnson's speechwriter. And his journey from White House to novelist to conservationist is on display now through October 19th. There, you'll learn all about the shared environmental legacy of the Johnsons and Benchley, the cultural tidal wave sparked by Jaws, and how the story that terrified moviegoers also reshaped our understanding of sharks. So head on over to lbjlibrary.org today to plan your visit.
TGIF, today on CityCast Austin. It is finally Friday, and y'all, this has been a nonstop news week here in Austin. So I've wrangled in a couple of special guests to bring y'all the big stories of the week in our Friday news roundup. We're going to talk about Monday's tragic shooting at Target, the latest on the I-35 expansion project, and our weekend plans. It's Friday, August 15th. I'm Eva Ruth Moravec, in for Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I am here with a couple of special guests this week. Joining us from the road is Kelsey Thompson, Austin digital reporter for MySA. Hi, Kelsey.
Hey, how are y'all doing today?
Awesome. And we've also got the man behind the parody account on social media known as Evil MoPac. Hello, Evil.
Hey, how y'all doing? I see you're smiling, so I presume you're not driving.
Everyone is being safe. Kelsey used to be a transportation reporter for KXAN. She knows the rules of the road, your road included.
Yeah, Kelsey and I go way back.
Oh, yeah. We've been Twitter mutuals for so long at this point. We've commiserated over MoPac several times.
We wanted to start this off with something a little serious. On Monday, there was a shooting that took place up at the Target, in the parking lot of the Target on Research Boulevard in North Austin. For 50 minutes on Monday, a 32-year-old went on a crime spree across Austin. He started at a Target parking lot on Research Boulevard in North Austin around 2 p.m. and opened fire, shot several people, and then left, and the craziness continued. So the whole spree left 3 people killed, 1 injured, and involved a few stolen cars also. The shooter was found in South Austin. He was naked and holding a Bible and claiming that he was Jesus. Obviously somebody who had been through some mental health issues in the past, but we wanted to talk a little bit about the victims. We know that there was a man shot. Adam Chow was shot in his car. He was in the driver's seat of his SUV. He was fatally shot, and then the gunman also killed the Chow's 4-year-old grandchild. Kelsey, I know you've written a little bit about the family and the fundraising going on to help them. What do you know about the Chows?
Yeah, so this is just such a tragic story. We know that Adam Chow and his wife, Doris, were at that North Austin Target along with their 4-year-old granddaughter, Astrid. And Adam Chow, along with Astrid, were 2 of the 3 victims who died in that shooting. We know that Doris sustained some injuries from the suspected shooter. We have received confirmation of a GoFundMe that has garnered so much traction in the greater Austin community. It had already more than doubled the amount of the goal set of $30,000. It was well over $60,000, and just hundreds of people donating and remembering Astrid for her sweet personality and Adam being such a patriarch of that family and just a wonderful man, someone who was very faithful and just loved his family, loved his grandkids. And this has been really shocking to so many people.
The other victim, this Target employee,
Yes.
On Tuesday when Chief Davis did identify the victims, she mentioned that there was a Target employee who was collecting carts in the parking lot and was shot before Mr. Chow. And this Target employee has been identified now as Rosa Machuca. And I believe there's also a GoFundMe account set up for for Rosa as well, although I believe that the name might need to be corrected from a previous name that Rosa went by.
Yes. So we received confirmation from Austin Police last night updating the victim's name and identity. She went by Rosa. She was beloved in the community. Everything that we have heard about Rosa online is that she was a beloved member of that North Austin community. And I think a lot of the feedback I've seen from several Austin community members has been frustration over the misnaming and misidentification of Rosa. I know that Austin drag performer Bridget Bandit posted a video yesterday, really, criticizing the lack of thorough investigation officers did, as well as, concerns about the GoFundMe that uses a former name that Rosa went by. But it is unfortunate that this has been part of this tragedy of a situation that was already so horrific. It has been something that I've seen a lot of members of Austin's queer community comment on and express concerns about how this was handled.
Absolutely. I agree completely. And I'm sure I was one of many people emailing APD's public information office yesterday trying to say, I'm seeing this other name online. What's going on? And they first said, no, this is the name that we put out as the official name. And then they did come back and correct that in an email, which that's a good step for them to officially do. But yeah, it is another unfortunate wrinkle of this all.
This is such a tragedy, and the pace of this crime spree was a point made by the Austin Police Department in a briefing on Tuesday when they said, this was less than an hour and it resulted in 3 people dead. And it also led to multiple car crashes, assaults of drivers of those vehicles, property damage. It's pretty extensive.
Yeah.
And also to cover that breadth of Austin is
no kidding. Yeah.
It's crazy to think about. And, I think that's something that is going to be an ongoing focus of this investigation as it progresses, of how did this person cause so much damage in that short period of time? And what are some of the ways that, police, mental health professionals, and others can help learn from this experience? I know that Austin Police Department Chief Lisa Davis commented on the mental health history of the suspected shooter. And she said, this is a significant failure on our part in terms of law enforcement, mental health professionals who knew this person had a very strong history of mental health concerns, as well as previous violent crimes that he had been linked to. So how does this person then get access?
Yep. He was convicted of domestic violence.
One of the questions posed by Chief Davis was, how does a person with that history get access to a weapon and cause this? And we do know from preliminary investigation details that APD released that he did receive this gun from a family member. It is unclear if he is a licensed gun holder, but given his mental health history, there is questions of whether he was, likely not.
Actually, we talked to an expert on Tuesday about this. From what we learned in this interview on Tuesday, was that because he did have this domestic violence conviction, he should have been federally banned from having a gun. And of course, bans don't always keep guns out of people's hands, but what I know that the systems and digging into those interactions with him, whether they were a couple of mental health checks that Chief Davis did mention, or this domestic violence conviction, and kind of where he was in that time frame. I think there's some ability in Texas for you to get off of that federal restriction after a few years. I'm not sure if that was applicable in this case, but
this is like a perfect example of these types of shootings. Everyone does the thoughts and prayers thing, but when you examine them and look at how it might have fallen through the cracks, I'm curious to see how these pieces fit together. Do we want guns in the hands of people with problematic histories? That's not going to stop everything, but why not stop a few things? And I don't know if that's what happened here, but that is definitely something that is, I'm sure, being looked into, and something that's problematic. And there are people out there, and again, I'm not going to go on a rant here, but there are politicians out there who actively try and get people on these lists, off of these lists, so that people with mental health histories, problematic mental health histories, can get guns. in their hands as fast as possible because these people have been bought and sold so many times by the NRA. And I'm curious to have someone hold those people's feet to the fire to answer for things like this too. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket, guys. I'm on a rant. I'm off the rant now.
Well, it's a timely question too, I think, because the legislature actually just passed a bill that's now in law. I don't think it's effective quite yet, waiting for September 1st, but it will ban recognizing red flag bans, if that makes sense. But
we talk about common sense gun laws. That is the opposite of common sense, and I would challenge any legislator in Texas who voted for that to go and look a relative of someone who's been killed in a shooting or injured in a shooting, look them in the eye and explain their position on that. It's just despicable.
yeah.
And my rant is over now. I said it was over before, and now it's over.
But another thing that I thought was really interesting was that the chief mentioned, in terms of the path of this man, of the shooter, Ethan Ninecker, and kind of where he was that they had to dispatch kind of had to piece together, oh, he's here, there.
Yep.
And they did have air support as well, trying to follow his actions. But she mentioned that if we had license plate readers now, that would be beneficial. And Austin has ended their contract or did not renew their contract for
Correct.
automatic license plate readers. And it was interesting hearing her say, absolutely, I think they would have been helpful in this situation and that she's still supportive of them, but maybe not the Flock brand that they were previously with. So do you think this is going to be used as if we had a license plate reader system, this could have been solved faster situation?
I am very curious about this detail because I do know Austin's program was not renewed. The contract did end June 30th. It is something, though, that has been pretty controversial among community members as well as Austin City Council. We have seen a lot of concerns both from some elected officials as well as community groups about privacy concerns with how the data is stored, who is being targeted more than others, or the concern of targeting specific communities or neighborhoods versus the totality of Austin. And given the nature of Austin City Council now, I don't know if we're going to see in the near term future a consensus in favor of this, but I do think this will be something that Austin police officials really push, because this is it's an example of where this could have been a tool for good. But obviously, city leaders are going to have to look at the totality of all of the pros and cons of license plate readers. And maybe if there's a brand outside of Flock that would be more useful and reliable for this type of assistance. But I do wonder how this is going to play out in the coming months.
Yeah, totally. And I mean, there is plenty of information that's being gathered on us when we're driving on other roads, such as if you're taking the MoPac express lane, your license plate is getting read every time. I know that's for a different information system, but it's still our information is out there, people. I'm sorry, it's a little too late.
Yeah, we need that license plate if we're going to double or triple bill you.
Yes, definitely.
Hey y'all, it's Nikki. Not many of you know this about me, but The Wizard of Oz is one of my all-time favorite movies. I've seen it an embarrassing amount of times. And y'all already know how much I love Austin. So imagine my surprise when I saw that Zach Theater is putting the two together for an Austin twist on this iconic classic based on the book by L. Frank Baum. So get tickets now to see The Wizard of Oz like never before at Zach Theater. This show features a Dust Bowl era cowboy band, a glittering mirror ball experience, and lots of surprises along the yellow brick road. Y'all, it is the perfect play for families, longtime fans like me, and newcomers that reminds us that there's truly no place like home. It's on stage from August 13th to September 21st. So meet me somewhere over the rainbow. Go to zachtheater.org for your tickets today. That's zachtheater.org. Step into the conversation shaping Texas's future at the Texas Tribune Festival. The Texas Tribune is bringing together inspiring thinkers, leaders, and innovators to discuss the issues that matter to you. Dive into unforgettable conversations spanning education, the economy, healthcare, energy, technology, public safety, culture, the arts, and more. TribFest gives you an up-close look at how big ideas take shape and how they affect your life. You'll connect with fellow Texans, engage directly with experts and leaders, and leave inspired to turn your boldest ideas into reality. And y'all, this isn't just another political event. It's a catalyst for shaping the future of Texas today. So mark your calendar, November 13th through 15th in downtown Austin. Get info and tickets at tribfest.org.
Speaking of our roadways, we do have some big changes coming to not MoPac, but I-35, our other rib of the city, or backbone, I guess you could say. So, I-35 is pretty much a mess already these days, way more so than usual. The Texas Department of Transportation is amid a $4.5 billion I-35 revamp, as Kelsey calls it. So we are revamping. It is underway. You are going to start feeling these impacts if you haven't already. So first, Kelsey, you want to tell us what's going on with, where these changes are starting to be seen and felt already in the city?
Yeah, so a quick little refresher for people either new to Austin or maybe not as much of a transportation nerd as I am, but TxDOT kicked off last October the I-35 Capital Express Central project, which is the massive overhaul of the interstate near downtown Austin. That's $4.5 billion, nearly a decade-long project, an 8-mile corridor, and it's going to expand the interstate as well as add some more east-west pedestrian and cyclist crossings, high occupancy vehicle or ride share carpool lanes, a new bridge over Lady Bird Lake to replace the current one. It's a very large undertaking, and it's something that people are already noticing. If you are taking the I-35 exits near Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, you have seen the construction. They are actively working to reconstruct the bridge crossing over the interstate at that location. TxDOT is also advancing work on the Lady Bird Lake bridge portion of it, and they did just clarify some details about changes that could come to trail access for pedestrians and cyclists during that construction process. So the city is looking very different right now along that corridor as this project advances. It's set to be under construction until 2033.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be a long couple of years left that we have. But one of the things that is kind of adjacent to it, but it's a city-led initiative, was this program called Our Future 35, which is basically the city's effort to try and reconnect the east side with downtown by having these highway coverings over I-35, the expanded highway to come. It's seen as a really great economic generation opportunity for the city, as well as a way to have placemaking and east-west connectivity. It is expensive, though.
And green things up a little bit too. I mean,
yes,
the renderings I see always have these trees and lush parkland. It's yeah, great.
Yes, it's something that the city has really been interested in, of adding more parkland, trying to mitigate some of the noise pollution from the interstate by having these deck plazas over the expanded highway.
Nothing to see under there. Just don't even look at it.
Nothing to see.
It's fine.
Out of sight, out of mind. It's totally chill. But it's something that the city has been working on for several years now, well before the start of TxDOT's construction of the expansion. But it is also a very expensive project, and that has gotten all the more expensive in recent years as we've seen inflation impact construction costs across the board, not just for these type of programs.
Right.
But at last estimate, city officials were anticipating this would be well over $1 billion to implement the entire program, which would include multiple highway covers, some expanded bridges across the interstate, all of the amenities. It's very expensive to do that. So
we were just planning for the moon. We were like, every
right.
intersection gets capped.
Right. You want a cap? It's the Oprah Winfrey of capping highways, in my opinion. But unfortunately, it's a city where you have a budget and who's going to pay for it.
Yeah.
And one revenue source that the city had hoped to get was this $105 million grant from the federal government.
Mm-hmm.
And they did secure this, but that all changed once President Donald Trump re-entered office and he started making budget slashes, particularly to the U.S. Department of Transportation for stuff that his administration claimed was, excessive programs and grant funding.
Womp, womp.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're Musk and Doge and you throw a folder to some 19-year-old JUCO dropout on this lunch hour in a toilet stall and say, throw some lines into this and cut out some projects, and that's what happens. So I'm look, as much as I dislike I-35.
Are you jealous?
I don't. As jealousy is a human emotion. I don't have that, but I do.
Of course.
I have a little bit of like your enemy is my friend, or
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
With I-35, anything that's against them, I love. But it's the whole thing is just kind of, and obviously, Kelsey, you know more about this. And I'll step aside again instead of blocking you. But I did have to comment on just the exquisite logic and analysis that went into some of these cuts, man. Just great stuff.
I think city officials were wise and read the tea leaves when he was reelected in November, and they knew
they tried to get it done.
Yeah, they were also aware, like, hey, this lovely, lovely grant that we would love to keep might go away.
Probably not
so
happening.
what are the other ways that we fund this?
Yeah.
So they definitely downscaled the vision.
True.
And they are still, the council approved earlier this spring funding to support adding roadway elements that would be able to hold those future caps at various locations along the corridor. But it is a much downsized version than the totality of what that program could have been. And that's just an example of the impact of those federal infrastructure funding changes and the trickle-down effect that has on local communities, but also, just the expense of and the inflation impacts on construction is really hard for cities to be able to grapple with sometimes, when the longer these projects take, the more time will pass, and that just increases the cost exponentially.
Yeah.
By the way, Kelsey, I heard you mention $4.5 billion. I had to mute my microphone because I was laughing so hard when I heard. So take that, and I wouldn't say I'd square it or cube it, but at least triple it. And then they're saying 2033 it's going to be finished?
Correct, yep.
Bless their hearts.
Are you one-upping them?
No, I'm not one-upping anything. I'm just telling you, the reality is, look, we had about a mile long of sound walls and one additional rich person lane, and that took me 5 years. So I feel like completely rebuilding I-35 with a barely functional Department of Transportation, $4.5 billion, boy, that's good luck. Take
Could be lowballing.
Let's say
2053
is when it's going to be finished, by the way. And by then we're going to be living as pod people underneath Town Lake and stuff. It's going to be 196 degrees. But anyway, that's another show.
Well, you'll have your turn, I feel like, very soon also. Evil MoPac, your chance is coming to get torn up as well. So
yeah, I'm pretty torn up every weekend. But yeah, as far as road revitalization, there is a MoPac South project. Obviously, I think it's what you're alluding to. That's going to take my highly successful toll lane and drop that down into Circle C. We're going to call it the Swinger Lane.
Great, excellent.
Awesome stuff. Awesome.
Beautiful.
By the way, there is going to be an app on both Google Play and the App Store for Apple coming up probably in the next month that is going to be toll lane related for MoPac, and it's going to have a real-time analysis of whether taking the toll lane makes sense versus the free lane. It's going to be accurate. It's going to be free with ads.
Okay. Well, I mean, it is helpful to know. Sometimes when I see those signs with the cost, it's like a little too late,
Yeah. It's like, thank you. I'm already on the lane, but thank you so
Yeah, it's
much.
like, oh, it's only 50 cents right now. That's perfect.
Thank
Or
you for your support.
$5.
Yeah. Thank you for your support, first of all, to both of you, and for giving me free money. There's no greater feeling as an Austin roadway or someone who plays one than passing by at a full-throated 65 miles per hour in the free lane and watching the toll lane stopped. It's kind of like the old gentleman with the walker at the beginning of Office Space.
Yes, it is Office Space.
Someone's going like 18 miles per hour in the toll lane.
But when you are in the toll lane and it's worth it, I will just say it feels like
Oh,
you're in
yeah.
Mario Kart and you just like got all the coins.
Yes.
And you're
Yes.
like, yeah, it's amazing. So just saying, Evil, there's a good and the bad to it, but
No, I like free money. I like free money.
well, yeah, these effects of I-35's construction are upon us. You know, the parking lot under the bridge is now gone. Trail access, like Kelsey was saying, is changing. The bats are going to have to figure out where to go. It's going to be a big upheaval. So keep your eyes open for the detours and yeah, stay safe. I'm curious to see how this will affect people's traffic patterns too, trying to get from east to west, or east to downtown. But they'll just have to make some plans.
Just off the Texas coast sits a unique beach town marked with salty vibes and sun-soaked memories. Port Aransas is a place where family traditions unfold naturally, and beauty lies both in island views and the unhurried moments between adventures. It's a place where multiple generations can get together under one roof to share slow beachfront mornings and cool Gulf breeze evenings. An island escape with 18 miles of shoreline to cast your line, kayak with the kids, or simply cruise the coast in a golf cart. One visit, and you'll see why generations of Texans have anchored their traditions to the island life. Start your new favorite family tradition in Port Aransas, Texas. Go to visitportaransas.com and plan your visit to Austin's beach.
Speaking of plans, let's find out what people are doing this weekend, what kind of stuff we should be getting into. It is, in Austin, some school districts have already started in the area. Others, the AISD starts next Tuesday, so it's sort of the last hurrah. Summer's dying gasps. So I want to hear what y'all are getting into this weekend. Kelsey, you want to go first?
Yeah. So my friends and I are pretty big art and craft night buffs here in Austin.
Ooh.
So tomorrow night, we're doing a nice little romanticy book pottery art class, which is going to be so fun. It comes with a book swap. So you bring a book, you make a friend, you swap, share recommendations, and you get to do a little fun art craft. And that's kind of been that's kind of been my summertime obsession. I've been really into painting and different little Michael's knickknacks and crafts that I can find. So
I love it.
I'm very excited. I feel like I've entered my 80-year-old lady aesthetic where I'm just knitting and painting and reading, and it's great.
It's an indoor.
It's great.
Kelsey, stay away from the Steiner Ranch version of the book swap. I'm just going to tell you that right just straight up. I don't want to get up in your business, but I'm just telling you.
Don't
follow those signs.
Duly noted.
Okay.
Don't read.
Yeah,
especially if there's any self-authored, like self-bound ones, maybe.
If anyone here is also crafty, another great resource is ATX Art Nights. They host events throughout the month. They have a variety of things. They always post a calendar with the breakdown of the monthly events and where they'll be. A lot of times they'll be partnered with a coffee shop or a brewery in town. So it's a great way to support local business as well. So
awesome.
Highly recommend for any other creatives out there.
Love it. I imagine Evil is also a maker.
Yeah, for sure.
Making people mad.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing my usual this weekend. Listening with glee to people on MoPac going, why the hell is there traffic like this on Saturday and Sunday? as if they just dropped it out of, the sky and didn't know that. This is the shameless self-promotion part, which I love to do. It's what I do. It's what I am. Some of you may know I have an Evil MoPac merch shop. Cool Evil MoPac stuff. It's all like the UT from the Moody Communication School worked with us a couple semesters ago and made designs. Really, really awesome stuff.
Ooh, that's awesome.
That's so cool.
And we got mugs, we got T-shirts, we got hats. Hey, you want a bag to go to the library? Evil MoPac bag. Makes it more fun, makes it better. EvilMoPacATX.com.
Awesome. So your weekend plans are self-promotion and watching your internet sales to see if they're going up at all.
Well, that won't be that hard.
You get an alert. For my weekend pick, I would just like to throw out a suggestion if you're also looking to escape the heat, but maybe not crafty like Kelsey. This weekend is a big one down at our state capitol. The Democrats have been gone from the House. They broke quorum to try to keep the redistricting map from getting passed. So they've been out the whole special session. It is set to end today. Most likely. What the speaker is going to do is try to make a quorum again. If that doesn't work, they will adjourn the session. And Governor Greg Abbott has said that he will immediately call another one with the same agenda. So lawmakers have been told to prepare to work through the weekend. So yeah, I will have my eye on the Capitol. You can watch the live stream from wherever you are. It's riveting, people, I swear. And if you are just wanting to get out and see it, I mean, the Capitol is public. It's open to the public. You can go. It's free. You can sit in the house and kind of watch the action happen on Saturday and Sunday. I'm imagining both will be busy. So I'm thinking Saturday, nerd out at the Capitol, enjoy it, and then Saturday night, make my way down Congress Avenue to the Continental Club, where one of my favorite local bands, Tomar and the FCs, are playing at 10:30. So that's my super cool Saturday suggestion.
One thing about this redistricting, it's so cool to watch democracy in action. Just watch them just very organically calling a special session in the middle of a 10-year census to add 5 additional, who knows what if they're going to lean Republican or Democrat. You have to just, I guess, check out and find out what happens. But just watching, it's almost like Schoolhouse Rock in action. It's just so cool seeing the organic functioning of democracy in its purest form. I am just in awe of it all. So
couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all there. Well, Kelsey, Evil, thank you so much for joining us. This was riveting. And safe travels to both of you, and safe whatever being ridden on to you, Evil.
Hope to see you both this weekend. Hope to spend some quality time with each of you this weekend. We can catch up.
I hope to avoid you.
Oh, unfortunately, that's going to happen.
Oh,
yeah.
I know.
I know. I can never stay away. I'm so sorry, Evil.
None of us can.
It'll be fun. You see that Gerard Butler dude, or whatever his name is, the guy that played Elvis? What's his name?
Austin Butler, yeah.
Austin Butler.
Gerard Butler. I think I'm just gave my age away. But Austin Butler was doing some bartending. Maybe I intend to get him stuck this weekend too, and we'll have some time. So maybe all 4 of us can hang out.
Oh.
Yeah, give him the true Austin experience.
Absolutely.
Sounds lovely. All right. Well, bye, y'all. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Before we go, I have a quick favor to ask of y'all. So CityCast is doing our annual listener survey, and it would really help us out if you took it. We want to hear your thoughts on CityCast Austin and what we're doing. You can take our survey at citycast.fm/survey. And I know what you're thinking. That's going to take me forever. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but it's really only 7 minutes. It's citycast.fm/survey. Plus, survey takers will also be eligible to win a $250 Visa gift card and some CityCast Austin swag. So go to citycast.fm/survey and take it today to win this cool stuff. And even if you took it last year, we would really be grateful if you take it again, since we can't use your data anymore from last year. And we've been doing this for a whole year plus now. So let us know your thoughts, citycast.fm/survey. That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. I'm executive producer Eva Ruth Moravec, holding down the host chair for Nikki Devon. Our producer is Alyssa Castles, and our Hey Austin newsletter editors this week are McKenna Harford and Kelsey Bradshaw. Music is by Nelson Valente Aguilar of Como Lost Movies, with additional music by All the Kimonos, Alex Roldan, and Drew Shepard, Bossa Band, James, DP, and Madley from Triple Scoop Music via Getty Images. And if you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend? Rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Bye.